नमस्कार आपण मानक समस्त को यही वीडियो बहुत बहुत स्वागत। आज रही वीडियो में आपण सहित +3 थर्ड सेमिस्टर पॉलिटिकल साइंस ऑनर्स कोर पेपर 6 पब्लिक पॉलिसी एंड मेजर अप्रोचेस इन पब्लिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन जहाँकि यूनिट 4 किसी 2 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन आंसर मुझे आपन सहित यही वीडियो डिस्कसन करी सेयर करी आ वीडियो आगक मुझे कहि आपण मैंने यार पीडीएफ टी को किपरि भाबे पाई परिबे। तो आम सर्टली सब डिस्कसन करबा। What is mean by policy and what is objective of public policy? Policy means a decision as to what shall be done and how. माने किपरि करबा आ पॉलिसी हम सब डिसीजन करछंती एंड व्हेन एंड वेयर केबे आ केउंटी। द सोल ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ पब्लिक पॉलिसी is to address the common concern of public requirement with collective consequence and to achieve democratic and just a fair society. Next, how do we understand policy adoption? This is most political stage of policy processes. It involves bargaining, compromising and negotiation. ତାହାକୁ ପବ୍ଲିକ୍ କ'ଣ ପଲିସି ଆଡପ୍ସନ୍ ବୋଲି ଆମେ କହିପାରିବା। ଆଡପ୍ସନ୍ ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ଇଜ୍ ପଲିସି monitoring and policy implementation. Policy monitoring refers to the process of detecting how the policy is doing. Implementation involves putting the policy into action. When does an implementation failure occur? An implementation failure occurs when the policy is not implemented as intended. For example, the school may adopt a uniform policy but the majority of students ignore it. माने कोन एटा कहछि implementation failure बेले जोटा कि गोटे पॉलिसी तयारी कर हबो कि ताकू बहुत गुडे लोक मानिनी ताहेले ऑटोमेटिकली कोन फेल हिजबो। What is meant by formative evaluation? If adequate monitoring process are in effect, it should fairly easy to detect where a policy has been implemented as intended. This type of policy monitoring has been referred to as formative evaluation. What is public policy? Said on definition on public policy. Public policy is a not a decision. It is a course of action or pattern activity. According to Door, public policies are general directives on the main line of action to be followed. Next, what are the reason for studying public policy and what are the reason for policy formulation? These reasons are development of policy study, political and administrative cause. Their reasons for policy formulation are fulfilling the organizational goals, participation of beneficiary groups, proper collection of fact and information. What are the substantive policies? It is formulated according to the needs of society and for the development of society. For example, education facilities, employment opportunities, maintenance of law and order, environmental protection are included under these policies. And what are the regulatory policies? Trade and commerce, safety and security of country are called regulatory policies, RBI. Election Commission of ETC are engaged in the work of controlling the policies. एमान सब कौन सब रेगुलेट करती इलेक्शन कमिशन सब यही प्रकार जो रही आरबीआई एमान सब पॉलिसी को रेगुलेट करती आ कौन फॉर्मुलेशन करती। व्हाट आर द डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिव पॉलिसीज ना दिस पॉलिसीज आर फॉर्मुलेटेड फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ द सोसाइटी एंड हेल्थ सर्विस। वुमेन प्लानिंग, अंगनवाड़ी प्रोग्राम एंड कुटीर योजना आर इंक्लूडेड अंडर दिस कौन पॉलिसीज। ये पॉलिसी सब वेलफेयर पॉलिसीज जहाँकि समाजर जहाँकि कौन हेल्थ सर्विस हो, वुमेन प्लानिंग हो कि अंगनवाड़ी हो प्रोग्राम हो कि कुटीर योजना सब यही अंडर से जाऊँ कौन डिस्ट्रीब्यूटिव पॉलिसीज मतलब सब बंटन करागला पॉलिसीज को। व्हाट आर द institutional factors for policy making? Name the constitutional framework from policy making. The institutional factors are legislature, executive, secretariat, department, ministry, established institution, Niti Aayog, National Development Council, judicial, non-government institution, political parties, precious groups, democratic and sovereign republic, parliamentary system, federalism, socio-economic philosophy are the constitutional framework for policy making. ये सब रही लेजिस्लेटर हो कि एग्जीक्यूटिव हो कि सेक्रेटरी सब डिपार्टमेंट मिनिस्ट्री सब डिपार्टमेंट रही से सब पॉलिसी मेकिंग करती। नेक्स्ट व्हाट इज द बेसिक्स ऑफ पॉलिसी फॉर्मुलेशन? द बेसिस ऑफ पॉलिसी फॉर्मुलेशन इज फॉलोज इंटरनल रिसोर्स, एक्सटर्नल रिसोर्स आउ कौन स्पेशल इन्वेस्टिगेशन विथ सेंट्रल पे कमिशन, राधाकृष्ण कमिशन आउ कौन रिसर्च एंड स्टडी ये सब कमिशन द्वारा पॉलिसी फॉर्मुलेशन हुए। Name the organs which are directly and indirectly involved in the policy making. The organ directly involved are Constitution, Parliament, Cabinet, Niti Aayog, National Development Council and Judiciary. The organs indirectly involved are pressure groups, political parties जो indirectly माने किए ना pressure group, political party, mass media, NGOs, research center and education institute ହେଲା କ'ଣ indirect. Direct ହେଲେ ସବୁ Constitution, Parliament ଏମାନେ ସବୁ direct. Name the origin of the study of new public administration. The study of new public administration can be traced back to history of Minor Book Conference. It was held in year 1968. It was also studied under the stewardship of Dwight Waldo. What is the Minor Brook? Minor Brook refers to a sense of protest against the working of government. It focus on relevance and change. What is meant by dichotomy? The word derived from Greek language. It means dividing into two blocks. What is favoritism? Favoritism refers to the preferential treatment with discrimination. It refers to more support to one over another. Next, what is the aim of Minor Brook Conference 1968? The aim of conference was the streamline the study of public administration. It was wanted to bring intellectual in public administration to revive the debate on the state and future outcome of the administrative behavior. Next, what are the issues that the new public administration putting emphasis? The new public administration puts emphasis on the behavior of individual or groups of individual as units of administrative investigation. Next, what does new public management represent? That the new public management emerged in 1980s. 1980 କ'ଣ ଉତ୍ପତ୍ତି ହେଇଥିଲା? It represented an attempt to make the public sector or business like the improved efficiency of government and borrowed ideas and manage the model from the private sector. Where did the first practice of new public management emerged? What are the programs launched by the John Major? Now the first practice on new public management emerged the United Kingdom under the leadership of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. John Major also launched the programs of the Citizens Character Initiative, competing for quality resource according to accounting and budgeting, and the private franchise initiative. Next, what is DEG? Digital era governance, the new way of governance, which should be heavily centered upon information and technology. Technology will help reintegrate with digitalization changes. DEG does not excellent job of marketing, making service for accurate, promote and removes most barriers and conflicts. DEG also can improve the service quality and provide local access to outsourcers. How is NPM passing out? The new public management or NPM is passing out because of disconnect with customers and their institution. Scholars cite the digital era and the new importance of technology that kills the necessity of NPM. In countries that are the less industrialized, the NPM concept is still growing in the spending. Next, what is the core idea of NPS and who are the main propagators of NPS? The government should not be run like a business; it should be run like a democracy. This is the core idea of approach. Means called NPS approach. Robert B. Denhart and Janet B. Denhart are the main propagators of NPS. Next, what is the new public governance? NPS is an approach which includes the centralization of power and increased number, role and influence of partisan political staff, personal politicization of appointments to the senior public service, and the acquisition that the public service is a partisan for the government of the day. Next, what is meant by good governance? Good governance is not about the making correct decision but about the best possible process for making those decisions and implementing such decisions. This is called good governance. What is accountability and transport? Local government has an obligation to report, explain and answerable for the consequence of decision it has made on behalf of the community. It represents transparent means that they will be able to clearly see how and why a decision was made, what information, advice and consultation council concept and which legislative requirements council followed. Next, to give the meaning of participatory and responsiveness. Now, any affected by the interest of a decision should have opportunity to participate in the process of making that decision. It means institution and process should serve all stakeholders. Next, What is good governance according to ADB? An ADB document 2005 affirmed that good governance is synonymous with the sound development management. They then identify some key principles of development which may be considered as elements of good governance. These are accountability, participation, predictability, and transparency. Means this is called good governance. कौन सब तार सब की पॉइंट माने good governance रो. Next, what does the governance promote? Write the view of Kofi Annan on good governance. Good governance promotes that virtues of decentralization, participation, responsiveness, and accountability among other. According to former UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, good governance is ensuring respect for human rights and the rule of law, strengthening the democracy, promoting transparency and capacity in public administration. This is called good governance को आम प्रकार प्रमोट कर कोफी आनंद हिसाब से गुड गवर्नेंस यह हो पारे. What are the dimensions used by World Bank to measure the quality of governance? The World Bank uses six dimensions of governance from their measurements: voice and accountability, political stability and lack of violence, government effectiveness, regulatory quality, rule of law, and control of corruption. Next, what is feminism? Feminism is a hostility ideology, sculptural theory, and a set of practice concerned with the nature of women's global and historical operation and subordinate to men, and aim to free all women from all male supremacy and exclusion. Feminism ले यहाँ कहे बुझी पारिबा. Next, what is meaning of masculinity? Masculinity is a term include all fundamental characteristics associated with the male sex and also the code of conduct. It implies emphasis upon the public nature of a male. What is meant by suffrage? Suffrage is a member of the female movement from 1900 onwards. It advocated the extension of the right to vote to women. What is equity feminism? Equity feminism has no a period stand on the origin on exercise to exercise na equity feminism has no period sentence or origin to extent of differences between the sexes. It is solely a sculptural desire from men and women legal and social equality. Next, what is capitability approach? Capitability approach is the theoretical structure entailing two core fundamental normative claims: that freedom to achieve well-being is of principal moral importance, and that freedom to achieve well-being is to be interpreted in terms of people's capabilities, that is their actual opportunity to do and viable chances to be what they have reason to value. It is an approach to welfare economics. Next, what is UNDP? The UNDP means United Nations Development Program is United Nations Global Development Network which has its headquarter in New York. जोटा कि आर न्यूयॉर्क रे तार हेडक्वार्टर अच्छी. It advocates social changes in the and connects countries and the regions with knowledge, experience, and resources to help them collectively build a better and fuller life. It provides expert advice, training, counseling, and grant support to developing countries, with increased emphasis on provision of help and required assistance to the less development countries. Next, what is GEM? GEM means na the gender empowerment measure. GEM is a measure of inequalities between men and women opportunities and participation in a given country. It combines odds and assesses inequalities in their areas: politics, political as well as economic participation and decision making, and power of over financial resources. तो ये किसी 2 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन आंसर. जब आप पीडीएफ चाहती तार डिस्क्रिप्शन में मुझे टेलीग्राम ग्रुप कौन लिंक दे देती सेठाक जाकि आपने यार नोट्स पाइपर. थैंक यू टू ऑल ऑफ वाचिंग दिस वीडियो. मुझे खाली सर्टली आप डिस्कसन कर कारण आप सब हायर स्टडी पढ़ले तो एथर भावुँ आप सब बुझीपारे. खाली वीडियो कर उद्देश्य है समस्त पाखे नोट्स पहुँची पार और समस्त स्टडी हेल्पफुल हम. तो नोट्स टी शेयर करूँ.